Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. Now, I'm here to make you angry today, and I'll tell you why. Because this video, this was sent to me late last night. I watched it once last night, then I watched it again today. And I'm pretty angry about this. It's 10 minutes, sit back, relax, listen to what I have to say about this horrid individual who claims to be a scholar and talks at length about the Prophet Muhammad. May death and pestilence be upon him forever and ever. Amen.
Is it true that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, married a 9-year-old girl?
Yes.
Now the question stems from authentic hadiths or reports that young Aisha radiallahu anha, she married when she was 6 or 7 years old.
Correct, 6 years old.
And that the marriage was consummated when she was 9 years of age.
Comment. For 3 years, between 6 and 9, the Prophet Muhammad, the scumbag, would thigh her. And again, thighing, imagine these are the girl's legs. What he would do is just rub his penis between them, on them, and ejaculate all over a baby. That's what he did for 3 years. How nice of him.
How do we as Muslims respond? How do Muslims respond? One Muslim is quoted as saying, "My Prophet was a gentleman, and he did not..."
Your Prophet was a rapist, a murderer, a child molester, a thug.
Not marry an innocent 7 or 6-year-old or a 9-year-old girl. Now Muslims also respond by saying there are reports suggesting that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, married.
That peace and blessings be upon him is about the most offensive thing I've ever heard. It's offensive as hell. You should be angry when you hear that.
Aisha radiallahu anha when she was 6 and consummated the marriage at 9. However, there are other evidences to support the fact that she may have been older. Now,
I don't know what evidences she's talking about. Every imam is quite clear on this worldwide. She was married at 6 and she was raped at 9. They're all clear on this. So is the book.
For many Muslims, this would have been once enough of a response. There's now an expectation or demand that you clarify which of the two positions you take. Do you believe?
Why does it matter which position you take? He's a child. He was a grown man. It's a child. You're supposed to nurture and teach and love children, not rape them.
That Aisha, when she married the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings.
Aisha did not marry the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet Muhammad took her from her family and declared her his wife. He did it. Had nothing to do with her. You think she wanted that?
Be upon him was 9 years old or 6 years old, or was she older? Was she in her teens or her late teens?
No.
As some Muslims, suggest.
It doesn't matter that some Muslims say it. No.
While evidence put forward to support the position that Aisha may have been older when she married,
no evidence at all.
May deserve attention.
It's just conjecture.
There is no documented report stating that she was older.
Exactly.
But
just conjecture.
There are reports, authentic hadiths, that do clearly state that she was 6 or 7 years old when she married.
Thank you very much.
And 9 years old when she consummated.
Thank you very much. Okay, so she's confirmed that. At least she has that part right.
My response and my position this evening, this presentation tonight, is simply to say it how it is.
How is it?
It was reported.
How is it?
And that is, yes, according to hadiths, Aisha radiallahu anha did marry at age 6 or 7. She
was ripped from her family at 6. She was declared married by the Prophet Muhammad. Once again, why does every Muslim in the world blame the 6-year-old child for this? It's Aisha's fault? It's her choice? I hope you're angry. I'm pissed off beyond belief right now.
She did consummate the marriage at age 9. And she did remain in this marriage until she was widowed for 9 years.
Not by choice. Not by choice.
Am I disturbed by this? Should Muslims overall be disturbed by this?
Listen.
Was it wrong? Was the marriage of Aisha wrong?
Where's the answer?
Was the marriage of young Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, at age 6 in the Arabian Peninsula 1400 years ago, was it wrong at that time, at that place?
This is how Muslims apologize for their prophet being a child rapist. What they do, she was about to tell you here, that it was normal in the year 600 to rape 6-year-old girls and marry them. It was normal. It was accepted by warlords and desert rats and caravan guys who'd be in the desert for 6 weeks at a time. It was normal. It was accepted. Listen to her. She's going to tell you right now.
History tells us, no. In its historical context, it was not wrong. How do we know this? Aisha was married at age 6. She remained living with her parents for 3 years until the age of 9, at which point, yes, the marriage was then consummated.
Whether she lived with her parents or not, this guy still jerked off all over her from age 6 to 9, and her parents let it happen. At what point in human history was this normal? Not even the Romans, who were huge into sex, would pull a stunt like this.
With the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, when
may
it
death
was
and pestilence be upon him,
and morally considered acceptable by all concerned. That included her parents, that included the community around her, that included Prophet Muhammad's worst enemies who were ready to assassinate him, but did not see any reason to attack him on this particular marriage or union. And
let's assume that in historical context, it was okay to masturbate using a girl's body parts who's only 6 years old. Let's just imagine for a second it's okay. Why are we apologizing for the activities of a rapist and a thug from 1400 years ago? Why does the Toronto police, now this is for all my American, Australian, UK, this is for my Canadian friends, this is for all of you around the world. The Toronto Police Department, Toronto, Ontario, right? Canada's city that is so big it could be a country unto itself. The chaplain of the Toronto Police is a Muslim who approves of and advocates for the marriage of grown men, my age, to 9-year-old girls. Still, this goddamn book is still being utilized today. And the Toronto police accept this as the norm.
There was every opportunity for young Aisha to seek refuge with those enemies who would have given her immediate refuge against this marriage.
How does a 6-year-old or even a 9-year-old girl articulate, excuse me, hi, Mr. Warlord, this guy married me against my will and he's a warlord and a thug and a rapist and I don't want to be with him. Could you please take me away from him and return me to my family and kill him on my behalf? Could a 9-year-old articulate that thought? Could a 9-year-old have the bravery or the sense of being or the knowledge of rights and power and life to make that judgment call and go ask somebody for help? This woman here deserves a punch in the face.
She didn't choose to do so, and it was never the case that she ever complained of it, even in her older, widowed years. The bond between Abu Bakr and Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him,
death
was
and pestilence be
solid.
upon him.
You know, this is one of the reasons Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, he hesitated in accepting the marriage proposal via this woman, Khawla bint Hakim, with the Prophet Muhammad. He said, because we're brothers. But the Prophet Muhammad clarified. He said, no, we're not brothers in blood. You know, we're just brothers as in, you know, hey, bro, you know, we're friends.
What?
You know, we're close.
What?
We're that close.
What?
We're like brothers.
What?
So the bond was already there. So, I mean, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll marry first cousins and we'll pollute the gene pool. Whatever.
In conjunction with other verses, it's stated that, you know, I'll actually quote David Wood on this. He writes,
yeah, David Wood, watch everything he does.
To divorce a girl who isn't old enough to have her period, it follows that Islam allows a man to marry a girl who hasn't reached menses. Now notice David Wood is quite smart, I would say, in not saying a girl who hasn't reached puberty. Why? Because
David Wood is explaining here that Islam states it's okay to rape and have sex with a girl who has not menstruated yet. It's okay to rip her innards out so that you can get off. That's what Islam says. And David Wood is saying that. She's trying to twist his words to make it seem like David Wood is praising Islam. Believe me, he doesn't. Look him up. Please watch everything David Wood has to say about the Prophet Muhammad and his rapey ways. Don't you just want to put a big fat elephant penis in that mouth and glue it shut?
Because it is what it is. In the Quran, in that verse, it simply refers to menstruation. It simply refers to the term menstruation.
And the Quran talks about it quite a bit. It's weird. They're really hung up on this.
Who has not reached puberty is eligible. It doesn't even implicitly say that. She is eligible to engage sexually with a man or consummate her marriage.
This is what happens when your religious book is written by a psychopath, a nutcase, a thief, a liar, a rapist, a pedophile. It's okay to have sex with a girl who hasn't menstruated yet. It's fine.
Yes, if you were looking at this verse at face value, yes. And
Muslims do look at that verse at face value. Why do you think so many 5-year-olds get raped in the world? Because Muslims take the goddamn book at face value.
Commentaries that go with this verse, a girl can marry, as did Aisha, at age 6.
A girl doesn't choose to marry at 6. A girl is forced to be married at age 6. A woman is blaming little girls for the decisions of men, rapists. This is Islam. This is what you are allowing in this country, Canada. This is what you are defending, Black Lives Matter. This is what you are defending, Antifa, is women, grown women, telling 6-year-old girls it's their fault for being raped by disgusting men.
Having not menstruated or having not gone through puberty, and she can sexually engage having not menstruated.
What that means is a man is allowed to rape her even though she has not menstruated yet. That's what it means. It's not her choice. It's not a girl's choice to lie on her back, spread her legs and say, hey, big boy with the beard and the smegma all over your penis, come over here and penetrate me. That's what she is implying here. That's what she's saying here. That 6-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old girls are asking for it. The Prophet Muhammad, may death and pestilence be upon him forever and ever. Amen.
But can she sexually engage having not completed puberty? No. There's a difference between the terms puberty and menstruation.
Oh, I guess she's a scientist, right?
The two are not synonymous.
A doctor?
In this respect.
Not even a philosopher, this one. Why is she speaking?
There's nothing in the Quran or Islam to prohibit marriage.
Did you hear that? Well, listen.
To those who have not yet menstruated.
Right there is my argument for the banning of Islam world freaking wide. There's nothing in the Quran or the Hadiths or in any teachings of any imam anywhere in the world that prohibits a Muslim man from taking a child, a baby, as his bride to use as his sex toy forever and ever. So long as he feels it's time to penetrate her. Believe me when I say this, if it's a boy, he'll screw the boy in the ass. If it's a girl, he'll do it in all 3 holes. This is the way they think. A scholar, a Muslim scholar, just told you there's nothing in the Quran that prohibits a man from taking your daughter, who's 6 years old, as his bride. Nothing. That's my argument for the banning of this goddamn religion, which is not a religion. It is rules for life. It is a militaristic doctrine designed specifically to tell you that it's okay to rape and kill and pillage. And she supports it.
Yet it would be disingenuous, inaccurate, and dishonest to say that the Quran or other Islamic sources endorse consummation of marriage or sex with prepubescent girls.
So she just said it's okay to marry them, but it's not okay to bang them. Well, it doesn't say that. We are talking about a religion that's recently, in the last couple of years, had a fatwa, which just means a religious ruling, a ruling stating that men, because these men can't control themselves, men are allowed to have sex with their wives up to 6 hours after the wife has died. That's correct. You are allowed in Islam to bang a corpse, so long as the corpse is still a little bit warm, so long as rigor mortis hasn't set in yet. I guess so long as the body has not yet begun evacuating its bowels because everything is dead. Of course the Quran says you can pork little girls. Of course it says that. Why is she apologizing for this? This was her idea, not mine.
Remember, not pre-menstrual girls, prepubescent girls. And we know puberty does not require menstruation to be complete. Aisha narrated, the Prophet said, it is essential to have the consent of a virgin. Aisha said, what if the virgin feels shy? The Prophet said, her silence then means her consent.
Right there! If you, as a 6-year-old, 9-year-old child, a baby, if you do not say, excuse me, sir, please do not put your penis in my vagina. If you just sit there and not say anything, because that's what children do when they're afraid, they cower. They're children. They're babies. So a child cowering in light of a man who's naked in front of her and probably stimulating himself to get wood. A little baby is unable to say, please don't have sex with me. And that is consent. That's what she just said.
Now, it's important to note that the Prophet Muhammad clearly states the importance of obtaining consent. A girl should make it known when consent is not being given.
Okay, so he wrote a rule and then wrote his own loophole for the rule. You must get consent from a virgin or a baby to have sex with it, or her, or him. But if the baby or the child, the boy or the girl, doesn't say no, that's a yes. This is her. This is a woman saying this. Little babies have to say, no, sir, please do not have sex with me, or else they are consenting to being banged by grown men who are probably unclean and disease-ridden.
It doesn't mean that if she's silent, that's it, that's her consent. Yes, if she remains silent, that is her consent. But the emphasis is she should voice her opposition. She should,
How?
make it known. A woman
How many of you in your adult lives are so shy that you can't tell someone, you can't even tell a friend of yours, no? You've all got that kind of friend that comes by your house and says, hey, can I eat your steak that's in the fridge? Hey, can I drink your coffee? Hey, can I borrow your cigarettes there? Hey, and you don't want them to eat your steak or drink your coffee or smoke your cigarettes. But you're too shy, you're too nice to say no to someone that you like and whom supposedly likes you. How's a child going to say no to someone they're afraid of?
Silence can be damaging. Even in a court of law today in the secular world, in cases of rape, that we always hear cases where they say, she didn't say anything.
She didn't say no. I went ahead and raped her.
She didn't say anything.
That's okay.
She did.
I'm a Muslim guy that lives in Halifax in Canada here, and some girl peed herself in the back of my cab because she was passed out from drinking, and I banged her, and the judge says consent. Why? Because if not, I would call him a racist, and he would feel guilty.
She didn't.
It's okay.
Object.
Rape is okay.
So this is where
in Islam.
It's being made clear.
Yeah.
Silence is taken as consent.
There you go. It's clear. If you don't say no to having sex with a man who's pushing himself on you, who's Muslim, it's consent. Hey! A woman is telling all of you this, and many of you out there have daughters under the age of 10 years old. And this is what jihadi Justin Trudeau and Kathleen Wynne and mayors Bonnie Crombie and Linda Jeffrey are making sure moves into Canada, and specifically my hometown. Because the airport, the biggest airport in the country, is in my hometown. So scumbags like this rape advocates like this, women rape advocates like this, land in my, I can't even listen to this bitch anymore. I'm done. Advocates for rape always end up in my city. Always. Then they'll move to the city of Brampton or the city of Toronto because all three cities are close to each other. But here you have it. A female Muslim scholar just told you that it's okay for disgusting, dirty, hairy, unclean men to rape your girl so long as your girl remains silent, sitting on the floor playing with dollies and maybe soap bubbles and coloring pictures. And some guy walks in the room and takes his penis out and starts stroking it in front of her. If she doesn't say, "No, sir, I'm not interested in having sex with you right now, please no." If she doesn't say that, she actually said yes. You have heard it right here. And right, you've heard it. I didn't edit that video. This video is everywhere online. You can watch the thing yourself. Why Kevin? Why Kevin J. Johnston? Why are you so against Islam? Why, Kevin? Why is it that you don't want Islam in your country? Why are you so outspoken about Islam? Why aren't you? Watch this thing for yourself. And if this doesn't make you livid beyond belief, if this is not the angriest thing that you've seen this year, or the most anger-inducing thing you've seen this year, then there's something very wrong with you. It's time for you to reevaluate your life and your belief structures and your moral and ethical code. Because you, standing back, telling me that I'm wrong and I'm racist for pointing this out to all of you, means that you are on her side. And if you do not fight her, it means you advocate for what she advocates for. And she advocates for child rape. Kevin J. Johnston, Freedom Report.